Welcome back to another episode of Lakeshow's Finest Redux. I'm your host, Charles Ryan, KB24 status, Warriors, truly the biggest Lakers fan on the face of the earth. This is probably going to be a shorter podcast because I'm really upset, really ticked off. Last podcast I think was about 45 minutes. For those of you that watched it all the way through, thank you. But the Lakers fell to the Miami Heat, 115-104. I don't really know where to start. It was very strange how we're living and dying from the 3-point line, we're the Golden State Warriors. We shot 33% from the 3-point line, which isn't horrendous, but that was the recap of the game. Which isn't terrible, but it's not great. We were 14 for 42. Down the stretch, we were going to Markieff Morris for threes. That makes no sense. I mean, Anthony Davis is a better three-point shooter. Markieff Morris shot pretty good from the three-point line. He was 5 for 11, which is great. 2 of those were air balls. But I'm confused why we're going away from Anthony Davis at the end, a guy who's a monster and had some really good plays. But Anthony Davis only shot 9 shots. He was in foul trouble. But, LeBron can't do it alone at the end. And LeBron trying to get open threes instead of going to the guy that will guarantee you a bucket in the final 2 or 3 minutes is, I think, much better choice. We kind of got away from that. There were so many fouls this game. The Lakers shot 29 free throws. The Heat shot 23. Naturally, the Lakers missed 7 free throws. That's the difference in the game, right? Making those free throws. And LeBron missed 3. And Anthony Davis only shot 2 free throws. That's unacceptable. There was a point during the game where I literally thought, the NBA and these owners, their goal is to make money. And teams like the Warriors, like the Lakers, those 41 home games that they have, each game they make approximately, let's just say, $5 million. All right? So that's out the window. That $200 million that they would get. So you're left with just TV money right now through these TV deals. And if there's a sweep, you're losing 1, 2, 3 games of TV money. So there was a thought in my head that was are the refs just making calls, making silly touch foul calls on Anthony Davis to just guarantee another game or two? And I really thought that. And this is not going to be a cakewalk now. I don't want to guarantee this, but there's a really good chance Bam comes back next game. And that will change everything. And if this goes 2-2, the Lakers need to fix some shit because there's so much things they can improve on. I don't know why we were relying so much on the three-pointer. Defensively, we fouled way too much. But defensively, we were leaving players like Kelly Olynyk wide open from the three-point line. He made 3 threes. Tyler Hero was okay. He shot 6 for 18, but he made a big 3 at the end. Duncan Robinson was okay. But it really came down to Jimmy Butler just doing everything. He had 40 points, 13 assists, and 11 rebounds. And we have to lock him up. KCP is too small for Jimmy Butler. I think KCP is 6'3", 6'4". Jimmy Butler's 6'7", 6'8". And in the beginning, LeBron was defending him. So I don't know where that went. I guess just went out the window. But yeah, I don't know the last time Jimmy Butler had 13 assists. It must have been a while ago. But if Bam Adebayo plays next game, I don't think Jimmy Butler is going to be going for 13 assists. And early, we kind of set a tone for mishandling the ball. We had 19 turnovers. We had 10 turnovers in the first quarter. So we had 9 turnovers from the second quarter to the fourth quarter, which isn't bad. That's 3 turnovers a quarter, but a lot of those were just careless. There were so many where LeBron just threw it away. LeBron had 0 turnovers last game. Tonight he had 8. Okay, he almost had a quadruple double. 25 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, 8 turnovers. All right, so we need to clean that up. I don't know where that came from. It was kind of like infectious. Just people were just careless. Anthony Davis had 5. Rondo had 2. But yeah, Anthony Davis and LeBron James accounted for 13 of the 19 turnovers. Last game, I think collectively they had 2. So nothing really changed. They were just careless turnovers that we could easily translate to points. And another thing with the rotations, it was nice that he stuck with Markieff and Kuzma and Rondo, but Rondo needs more minutes than 27. He really does. When the Lakers just are flat, he needs more. Rondo had 4 points, but he also had 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Rondo had a couple huge offensive rebounds, but he needs more than 27 minutes, because there's several plays where the Lakers would just not know what they're doing and just take a shot with 2 seconds left that would be contested. That would be clearly just a low percentage shot. And you need players like Rondo with the second unit constantly to be there. The foul trouble thing really threw us off. Anthony Davis couldn't really get any rhythm going, and he really needs that. Last game, he was kicking butt. Made like 10 points in the first 2 minutes, 3 minutes of the third quarter. And was in a mojo. He was really just in his, in his bag of tricks. But he was a negative 26. KCP was a negative 26. The whole starting lineup was negative. The bench was positive. Even J.R. Smith was positive. Caruso plus 8, Markieff plus 10. But Dwight played 14 minutes. Another thing I noticed was we kept getting caught up in the pace. We were pushing it way too much, and we thrive in transition points and fast break, but the Heat were going so fast, and we just couldn't calm ourselves down sometimes, and that's when so many plays led to breakdown defense where we leave a 3-point shooter wide open. We made more threes than the Heat, all right? We made 14, like I said, and the Heat made, 12. But the Heat shot a smaller clip than us. We were just living by that line. So my favorite play of the first half was the first 5 seconds when we got the tip and LeBron, I believe it was LeBron, threw it to Dwight for an alley-oop. And LeBron kind of had like a mean mug there. My favorite defensive play when LeBron blocked Tyler Hero and he kind of jumped on top of him and Hero was on the ground for a second, and then Markieff really got in Tyler Hero's face and there was some pushing and shoving. I thought that was hilarious. Markieff gets in the middle of everything. So in the first half, Lakers were only down by 4, despite having 14 first-half turnovers. That's incredible. I think they missed 4 or 5 free throws in the first half. I don't know how it's possible. You have 14 turnovers, and you're only trailing by a bucket and a half. We had 5 turnovers in the second half. Really made up for that. But, yeah, the one thing that kept us in the first half was we were 8 for 21 from 3. That's 40-something%. And from there, we were, I want to say, 6 for 21. So, got to work on that. One thing I didn't understand was J.R. Smith's minutes. He came in at the end of the first half, and he did make a nice shot in the game, but the last second shot was him acting like it was the playground, and he threw the ball to the corner and tried to make a fadeaway 3 like he was Kobe or something. That was ridiculous. JR has this need to, I guess, make crazy shots off the dribble. He's a dinosaur. He's 35, whatever he is. I don't get what the hell that was. So my favorite offensive play the second half was Anthony Davis's alley-oop from Rondo when he had a reverse dunk. Anthony Davis played a hell of a third quarter. He really did. Actually, it might have been the fourth quarter. He had a really, really big quarter in the second half. And that was my favorite offensive play. My favorite defensive play was... I can't really think of one. They didn't really play that great of defense in the second half. They allowed over 60 points in the second half. They allowed like 67, I want to say. Yeah, 67. No, 57, sorry. That's just way too much. I guess I didn't have a favorite defensive play. My favorite defensive play was probably when the Heat missed a wide open three. That was some great defense, letting them be wide open and somehow missing it. Yeah. So let's go to the stats. Once again, I'm like really upset and ticked off by this game. This was a must win, and we blew it. We really did. Both games, we were leading pretty much the whole way after the first quarter. And this completely flipped on its head. We were losing the whole entire game except for like maybe 5 total minutes in the game. In the fourth quarter, at one point, we were up by like 2 points. But that's it. All right. Our largest lead was 4. The Heat's largest lead was 14. The game was tied 6 times. The longest run was 12. I believe by the Heat. There were 7 lead changes. We finished with way more rebounds than they did. Way more. We had 43 rebounds. They only had 37. But way more in the sense that we had 11 offensive rebounds and they only had 3. We had 23 assists. He had 25, thanks to Jimmy Butler. Both team had 8 steals. Lakers had 2 blocks. Heat had 3 blocks. We had 19 turnovers, like I said, and the Heat had 12. The Heat took care of the ball. Jimmy Butler accounted for almost half those turnovers. Field goal percentage. Overall, we shot 43%. The Heat shot 51. We both had the same amount of shots. Lakers shot 79. Heat shot 80. The Heat were 35% from 3, 12 for 34. And like I said, 14 for 42 for the Lakers for 33%. Lakers missed 7 free throws, 22 for 29. Heat missed 2 free throws, 21 for 23. Points in the paint. According to ESPN, the Lakers had 34 points in the paint, and the Heat had 52. The Lakers had 15 fast break points, and the Heat had 9. And, well, here's something interesting. ESPN says the Lakers had 20 turnovers. Whatever it is, it's still crazy, but interesting how they sometimes differ, NBA.com and ESPN. And also Basketball Reference. The Lakers had 21 points off turnovers, and the Heat had 17. The Heat only had 17 points off of 20 or 19 Lakers turnovers. We got really lucky there. And like I said, a lot of those are dead ball turnovers, but if they score that next possession, that's counting as points off turnovers. So we got very fortunate in some aspects of this game. The worst thing was just the 80 fouls, really. We fouled 22 times. The Heat fouled 23, but so many silly ones. And a lot of them were just us not being able to defend and just trying to make them make it from the free throw line, and the Heat were just unconscious from the charity strike. Charity strike. Okay, here's the player individual stats. Your Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James, played quite a lot of minutes tonight. 39, 25 points. He shot 56% from the field, 9 for 16, 1 of 5 from 3, 6 of 9 from the free throw line, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, 8 turnovers, 2 blocks. He was a -4. Anthony Davis, 32 minutes, only 15 points. 1 of 2 from 3, only 2 free throws, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 turnovers, 2 steals, and a hefty minus 26. Dwight Howard, 14 minutes, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 steal. Danny Green, 16 minutes, 2 points, 0 for 6 from the field, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover. Danny Green was just terrible tonight. He was 1 for 8 last game. Danny Green, 16 minutes is really where he should be at if he's going to play this poorly. Caruso is taking his minutes pretty much. And Caruso can defend. Caruso missed some wide open shots. But it's just clear overall that Caruso is more reliable at this point. Danny, I know it doesn't feel like it's NBA Finals. It really doesn't. I get a lot of joy out of these wins, but it doesn't feel the same. But Danny Green has to have that mentality that this is NBA Finals. He's been there so many times. He's been there, I want to say, 3 or 4 times with the Spurs, and then once with the Raptors. He has 3 rings. Maybe it's 2. But still, man, this guy is such a veteran that he can't make wide open shots. Just wide open. This is his job. Defend and shoot. 3 and D. And if he can't just make 1 or 2 threes, then I don't know what we're going to do. Kuzma took on the load. All right. 19 points for Kuzma. I actually saw this article that said Kuzma shouldn't get a championship ring because he's been playing so bad. A lot of these Laker fans have this mentality that Kuzma needs to be the third guy. But 19 points is getting the job done. He was pretty good defensively. He made 50% of his threes. But yeah, man, Danny Green's just trash. KCP, 29 minutes. He fouled so many times. He had 4 fouls, 5 points, 1 for 5 from the field. He missed 2 free throws. Usually KCP is pretty good from the line, but not sure what happened. 2 for 4. 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. Kyle Kuzma, 22 minutes, 19 points, 6 for 13 from the field, 3 of 3 from the free throw line. Good job by him. 3 rebounds, 1 turnover. Rondo, 27 minutes, only 4 points, but 8 rebounds, 5 assists. He missed all 3 of his threes, and most of them were really good looks. I think he had 1 step-back 3 that he missed. But he's got to make at least one of those. He had 2 steals, 2 turnovers. Caruso, he was 1 for 4 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3 for 8 points. He's got to make those threes. They're wide open. I'd say 60% of the threes are completely wide open, and the Heat want us to take it, but then we need to pound them on the inside, and we just didn't. We really didn't. And I don't know if Dwight coming back in more would change things. Offensive rebounds, getting under people's skins. But maybe that's an adjustment Vogel has to make. And Markieff, the guy who airballed 2 threes, 25 minutes, 19 points, 6 of 13, 5 for 11 from 3, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover. And then JR's 5 minutes, probably his first 3 in the NBA Finals in the playoffs since like 12 games, something crazy. I don't know, man. J.R. Smith is really upsetting me. I don't know what's up with Dion Waiters, but I'd rather have him and then J.R. Smith. And the Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler, 40, 11 and 13, plus 20. Jay Crowder, 33 minutes, 12 points, 5 for 12 from the field, 2 for 8 from 3. Jay Crowder missed a lot of wide open threes. A couple of those went down and out. Rolled inside out. He had 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover. Myers Leonard, he was on the Wired thing. He was mic'd up, and you could tell a lot of the things that he was saying, he was just saying because he was mic'd up. Not because he would naturally say those things. But yeah, man, I really thought Kelly Olynyk would start. He played 31 minutes and played a lot better than Myers Leonard. But I understand that Kelly Olynyk, his traditional roles off the bench. But I don't know. Maybe they'll make that change. I mean, if Bam comes back, Myers Leonard's out. But yeah, man, 12 minutes for Myers Leonard. He did have 7 points, made all 3 of his shots, made 1 3, 1 rebound, 1 steal. He was perfect from the field in 12 minutes, so give him credit, but the Heat just went small with Olynyk. Duncan Robinson, 40 minutes, 13 points, 4 for 12 from the field, 3 for 10 from 3. Offensively, both Duncan and Tyler Hero are not very good this game. I mean, they really weren't. Duncan Robinson was a plus 27 somehow. I guess because, I don't know, but that's the highest in the game. Collectively, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, their backcourt was 10 for 30 from the field. 5 for 17 from 3. So hopefully these guys don't get it going because the game would have had a much different outcome. And a lot of their shots are wide open. Duncan Robinson probably has 21 points. He had 8 or 9 points last game. So he's averaging like 7 points a game. We're containing him really well. KCP and who else? Yeah, it's mostly KCP and Caruso are doing a really good job at flying and following them off screens, not giving them much separation. But still, man, just got to contain these guys. I don't think they had a single good game this series, man. Definitely not Robinson. Iguodala, 16 minutes, 2 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 1 turnover. He was a negative 13, the worst plus-minus for the Heat. Olynyk, he played well again, 31 minutes, 17 points. Made all 4 of his free throws, was 3 for 5 from 3. Those are some big daggers there. Then he made 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. Kendrick Nunn was pretty bad tonight. He had 5 fouls, and a couple of those were kind of ridiculous, but the rest just like to pick on rookies for some reason. And maybe it's obvious when he fouls and he's not very subtle about it, but still, a couple of those were absurd. 19 minutes, 4 points. He only took 3 shots, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 4 turnovers for Kendrick Nunn. And then Solomon Hill, once again, only played 3 minutes, and he made a 3. He had to answer. I think Kuzma made a 3 in the third quarter or something, and then Solomon Hill just answered right away. That was a big 3, and his only points in a million years. And then Derek Jones Jr. played 20 seconds, and he was a negative 2. So that's the player stats. I guess I'm calmed down more because is it the gentleman's sweep mentality for this team? I'm not sure. But we're just so much better than this. And really, I just think it comes down to turnovers and sticking with the game plan. The game plan is inside-out offense and giving AD the ball. And I understand he was in foul trouble, but he still played 32 minutes. It wasn't like the Jokic games where Jokic would be in foul trouble and only be playing 20, 25 minutes and benched. You can tell AD is just on a mission. He made some crazy shots, some step back, double team shots this game, but he needs more touches. And a lot of times they try to get it to him, and it'd either be a turnover or he get looked off for some reason. But just stick with the game plan. I think Game 4 is a must-win for both teams, obviously, but just the whole mentality changes. It really does. This is not going to be easy, and the Lakers blew a huge opportunity here. But Miami is just, they have nothing to lose, and we need to, put them down. Put them down easy. Don't let Jimmy Butler get 40 points. How about that? Is that a good plan? All right, thanks so much for listening. I'm KB24 Status, Charles Ryan, or yours truly, the biggest Lakers fan in the world. I look forward to talking to you guys next game. Take care, and go Lakers. Peace.